Hey, Sister Jackie, welcome in. Happy Sunday to you. How you doing? It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Even though I'm watching your videos, it still seems like I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. For those of you who will be on the replay, welcome in. Happy Sunday to you. Thank you for hitting the like button. And let's get it on. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. It has been a week. It definitely has been a week, but we made it through and we're getting ready to start a new one. It's good to see you, and I look forward to this conversation. So, Miss Jackie, how are you doing? Tell me what's going on with you and what you have new coming up. Yes, got a lot of stuff going on in the background. Welcome in. Miss Jackie, what's going on? I want to give some people an opportunity to get in here before we get started, before we start chatting it up. But I wonder what's going on with you and how you doing. Yes, yes, yes. A full plate, I tell you. I have definitely had a full plate. And I want to talk about it. Yes, I want to talk about it. You know, sometimes the full plate doesn't always mean a bad thing. And, most of the things on a person's plate are good things, they're good things. And all of them are blessings and wonderful. But at some point, it becomes too much. When you trying to balance your life, it could become too much. And so that's what was happening with me. And so I want to talk about it because I know that I'm not the only one. And I want to hear what you all have to say about it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this conversation. I see 8 people in the building. So if you could be so kind as to hit the like button, I would love that. The algorithm would love that as well. Welcome in, Kendi K. Happy Sunday to you. Great job on the yard. It's always good to see you. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay, especially because of this plate and what's happening with it now. So that's what I want to talk about today. I know that when you first come in, you only see the thumbnail for a quick second. So I want to share with you all the things that was on this plate. And so on this plate I had, and some of you already know this. And by the way, if you're new here, I'm Sandra James with Living It with Sandra James, and welcome in. Thank you. Thank you so much. I had my little headband on and I took it off because it didn't look right. Welcome in, Rod. Good to see you. Happy Sunday. And congratulations again on 1,000 subs and probably more by now. I'm so happy for you, and I am glad to be a part of that community. Yes. So, Rod, we're getting ready to talk about the full plate, my full plate. And then, of course, I want to hear about everybody else's plate and what their plate looks like and what we're doing about it. So on this plate, I had 2 jobs. I had my business with a partner in the mall, in the store. And then I had the pop-up shops that I was doing, popping up to different cities and being a vendor in all of these different cities. I had a Shopify store and I had YouTube. I have my YouTube community And I have the communities that I'm a part of from all of the channels that I visit. And I had my health, my ostomy life, my colorectal cancer journey. So all of these things were on my plate. And so a while back, maybe about a month ago, I shared with you guys that I had taken a break from my second job. So that was something that's no longer on the plate. And I have not gone back to that second job yet. And I am not sure if I will. So that was on the plate. And then a couple, maybe 3 or 4 days ago, I took the Shopify store off the plate. A while back, I stopped doing the pop-up shops with the canopies and running around the different cities. I took that off the plate. And then I also shut down the store in the mall. I took that off my plate too. So I am no longer a partner, and I no longer have products in the mall. So all of those things are off my plate. And so I feel so much lighter, so much better, because it wasn't that these things were bad. It was that it had become too much. Having to drive out to the mall, which is not local for me, had to go and replenish products, making products all the time and replenishing the store and driving out, taking everything, rotating, doing all of those things. It had become too much. And with the ostomy and not being able to work the canopy, take the canopy down, put it up, pick up the tables, and do all of those things is not good for my ostomy, because I could get a hernia. And so I didn't want to do that anymore. And most of all, my interest in certain things were coming down. And I'm only interested in a few things. And then I still have my family, I have my husband, and my friendships that I have to have some time for engagement and, personal stuff with them. So, I thought that it would be a good time to get some of these things off my plate so I can function properly and enjoy my life, instead of being overwhelmed because of all the things and that's right, it's summer too. All the things that are on my plate. And, even with the summer and with the new life that I have, this new reality that I have with the colostomy bag, I have to be focused and managing on how to keep cool and how to keep this bag stuck to me, because when it's hot, there's sweat, and we just could not be having no accidents. And so, just a lot of things in life happening that needed the adjustments. And so I am not feeling in any way bad about some of the things that I had to take off my plate. So can you guys share with me what your plate looks like? And what do you think about what I'm sharing right now? What does your plate look like? And what's going on in your life with this plate? Yeah, that's what I want to know. Because I know I'm not the only one that had, everybody has a plate. Maybe everybody's plate is not full or wasn't full, but you had a plate. Everybody has a plate. And I want to know what that plate looks like for you. And what are you doing to manage your plate? Do you have a balance in your life? Are you able to balance everything that's on your plate? And what are you doing? What are you doing to manage that? What coping skills do you have to cope with the challenges, even just the challenges of life, whether things are on your plate or not? Candy K says summer breeze. Summer is breezy for work because I have a lot of PTO. Yes, yes, and it's kind of like downtime for the job right now for you. Well, we're still in this big transition that I shared a couple weeks ago. Not only did we transition into a new system, they decided that that system wasn't working. So we had to learn to and transition it to another system. And that's where we are now. And the workload is double what it was before. So that happening in my life right now also put some pressure on the plate as well. So it was good for me to start, managing and getting things together. Hi, is that Pammy? Welcome in, Pam. Yeah, it's good to see you. Welcome in. Oh, wow. What type of work are you doing? Sorry, I missed the beginning. I'm a reauthorization clinician, so I write the rationales for why men and women need continual stays in substance abuse treatment. That's what I'm doing now. And it's a lot of writing, and we're talking 8 to 10 to 12 hours daily, and every now and then maybe just a few hours, but it's a lot. Yes. So my plate is full. However, point blank experience says, who is Rod? My plate is full. However, I'm blessed enough to control the food on my plate. I run 4 YouTube channels and make multiple guest appearances, but I love it. That's good. So the plate is full, but you're managing it. And one of the things, Rod, that I love about my plate is YouTube, my YouTube channel, and having the relationships that I have in YouTube and being able to engage with other people. I love that. And that's something that I absolutely do not want off my plate. It gives me pleasure. I'm able to help other people while I'm doing my channel and while I'm coming on and talking about some of the things that will hopefully change the lives of others or help the lives of others. I love that. And so that definitely would not be off my plate. But 4 YouTube channels, that's a lot. You're doing good. And I appreciate it because I love your channel. I love your music, and I love the finances and the things we talk about there. So thank you for loving what you do, and thank you for sharing it with me. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. So Pam, we're talking about having a full plate. What's on your plate? Is it full? Is it manageable? Is it too much? And what are you doing about it? If it's too much, what are you doing to manage? Are you taking things off your plate, or are you just carrying it even though it's weighty? Are you carrying it? Yes. So that's what we're talking about, Pam. I was sharing about all the different things that was on my plate and what I've done about it. I removed a lot of things off my plate, and there are a couple things that's going to go on the plate that wasn't on before that I absolutely want there and that I absolutely need to get going with. So I'm happy about that. Jackie said, Kendy K said, bless you, Jackie. Oh, she's talking to Jackie. Uh, Jackie is decompressing. Yes, yes. Welcome in, Vicky. Good to see you. How are you? Happy Sunday to you. Pam says, I'm so glad to finally get downtime off now. Yeah, and I have a ton of PTO too, you guys. So as soon as I get settled in this transition, I am getting ready to probably be off for, well, I won't take it all, but maybe 2 weeks, because I really want to go on a cruise before the year is out. Kitty K say, they say that Americans are the only people who have lives that are so full of responsibilities anywhere else in the world. They tend to focus on enjoying life. Yeah. Yeah, and I want to focus on enjoying life. At 64, I'm in chapter 64. By the time chapter 67 come, I want to have my hands absolutely at the back of my head and my feet up, and whatever is on my plate can be managed, but at this time it wasn't, and I wasn't just going to roll with it. I absolutely went ahead and did what I had to do to get some of those things off my plate. Pam says, yes, sometimes I have to reply rely on dry shampoo. You talking about shampoo? Is shampoo on your plate, Pam? It is, washing your hair is important too. I washed my hair this morning. Yes. But 2 jobs, yeah. And YouTube takes a back street a lot. Well, YouTube is not going to take a back street for me. I'm going to keep YouTube and keep it not in front of the most significant things in my life, but YouTube is a significant thing in my life because of my journey and how important it is and how important it is to others. So that's something that stays on the plate, so yes. But it could get taxing, and some people will have a lot on their plate and feel guilty about removing things from their plate, and I don't think that we should have to feel guilty about managing our lives and getting things in order so that we can function properly and be not only just functioning, but efficiently functioning and being a benefit not only to ourselves, but to others. And sometimes if the plate is too much, it's impossible to do it. So yes, I absolutely, I feel no guilt. I can always sell products, sell candles, because that's what I do. I make candles, and I still do those locally when somebody checks in and asks for candles. I prepare them and make sure that they get them. I can still do business that way, but I just couldn't go to the driving out to the mall anymore and uh excuse me, going into the markets. It was just a lot to do, and then do the YouTube channel and do family and spend time with my husband and work. It was just, it started to become impossible for me. And so, hey, I did what I had to do, and I feel so much better. I feel so much better because of it. So yes, I totally understand. uh Rod says, I totally understand, Kendi K, but that's all I do. I run my social media networks. I run my social media networks, and that's it. I retired from the military in 2009 and the auto industry in 2023. So, okay. So that makes sense, Rod, too, how you are able to, even though it's still a full plate for you, it's manageable. And so you can run 4 channels because you don't have those other responsibilities and the other things that you were doing before. And so you could give a greater focus to your channels. And that's awesome. I commend you for that. And Pam says, I noticed that I will go. And when I have a break, I don't know how to organize my time, and I have a hard time adjusting. Yes. So are you thinking about, okay, let me just stop and get one thing organized at a time? Sometimes it's just about doing one thing at a time, and getting organized that way, opposed to trying to put a lot of pieces together all at once. You can just take it one day at a time, one thing at a time, and you'll find that it becomes more manageable and easier to do. Yeah, 4 channels. Yeah. I see. Kendi K said you are a retired guy. Yes. Yeah. So he can do that. I maybe someday I'll have another channel, but this one needs to get off the ground first. And again, for all of you who will be on the replay, it would really be a wonderful thing if I can hear about your plate, what's on your plate, and what's not on your plate, and how you're managing. Is it too much or is it not too much? Do you have a balance? And anything else you would like to share? I really would love to hear from you. Okay. Yeah. Channels. It's a lot of work. Just getting the content, doing the editing, and choosing what is best for your community and such. It's a lot, but it's a wonderful thing. It absolutely is a wonderful thing. And I enjoy the time that I spend with all of you on your channels, just like when you come over to my channel and you're sharing with me and is talking with me. I absolutely love that. You should make, Candy K said, you should make that little plate into a post, because that was adorable with all of your things in your life. It was a wonderful metaphor too. Yes, I have it on the community post, but I will probably do something else with it as well. And I really do think that it's to an important thing to talk about, a important thing to look at. A lot of times we be like Pam said, Pam just going. Sometimes we just go, and we don't even realize how much we're carrying, until the weight finally comes down, and that's when we realize that, oh, there's some adjustments that need to be made. And then we can, whenever that realization comes, we can come in and adjust that and work on it. Because if I tell you, I don't know how I went as long as I did with all of these things. And some things just didn't even fit on on the metaphor plate, So I was like, okay, Sandra got to do something about her plate. And again, I am very glad, very, very glad that I did. What are some of the things that can happen to a person who's continuously functioning with a full plate and carrying the weight of this plate and not really realizing it? What are some of the things that can happen in their lives that could be hurtful or harmful to them? Maybe stress. We talk about stress a lot. Sometimes we have all of these things going on our plate, and then stress hits us. How is that good for our health? How is that good for our health? How do we deal with it? Burnout, Roz says. I just did a collab with a friend of mine about that. Yes, about stress, right? It can really be detrimental to your health. It really can. And it is so important to pay attention to our bodies, to pay attention to our lives, pay attention to our responsibilities, and find those things that balance us to help us to function better. And like Candy K said earlier, and it's summertime, heat brings on weight as well. So we have to think about these things, and we cannot just continuously go. So Pam says stress that can affect your sleep. Yeah, it can affect your sleep. Having a lot of things on your plate, you got a lot of things to think about. You know, I noticed also that I was having headaches a lot last week. Every day last week I had a headache. And these things that's on the plate, on this metaphor plate, were not even on my plate anymore. But the weight of it was still on me as I was taking these things off. And I know that it was because of all of the things that I had going on in my life, especially work right now while we're in this transition. I do make sure I still prioritize my health, though. That's good because your health, without that, you wouldn't have to worry about a plate. So that's a very good thing, Pam. Good job on that. Welcome in, Gemini Diva. How are you? Happy Sunday. Always good to see you. Gemini Diva says, I try not to stress. I try not to have stress in my life. That's good. Even though it's going to come sometime, we can immediately manage it when it tries to come. Yes, because stress is like a no, no, no. You cannot have stress. We talking about heart attacks and strokes and different things. I have habits of how I start the morning, what I drink and eat, but many times the dinner times can suffer and I won't have dinner prepared. Well, at least you do prepare. Every time somebody talk about preparing food or dinner or anything like that, I laugh because I do not cook. And that's something that's not going to go on my plate. I'm going to try to do better, but that's something that's not going to be on my plate. Pam says, yes, the stress, headaches, and stress can cause her food cravings. We don't want that because we're trying to be on the GLP-1 weight loss journey. So we definitely don't want the food cravings, right, Pam? No. Just say no to stress, Candy K said. Yes. What makes my plate manageable is I will only do content that can benefit my viewers, and I have to enjoy the topic. Yes. And because why are we doing this? We're doing this not just for ourselves, we're doing it for our communities, we're doing it for our viewers and our subscribers and and the people in the bushes too. We're doing it for them too. So yes, we only should be doing what we enjoy, at least try. We can't always have everything be pleasurable, but we can do what works for us and what works for the people that are in our lives. Yes. I also work on doing deep breathing, Pam says. So food is not on Sandra's plate. So will you tell us what you had to eat for today? So today is like 3 o'clock, 3:30 here in California. And the first thing I had this morning was a thing that I have every single morning, and that's my Honey Nut Cheerios. I love my Honey Nut Cheerios. For lunch, I had peaches and cottage cheese. I do not know, and I don't eat a lot already. I do not know what dinner is going to be yet, but I will have dinner. I usually eat once or twice a day, and I do a lot of snacking. And my snacks are very minimal, like I like to do the cheese sticks and crackers, and I just drink a lot of fluids. And I just don't have a whole lot of love for different foods. And I do my fruit and my vegetables, but I try not to eat a whole bunch of stuff because the more I eat, what's going to happen. And I don't like that feeling. And I don't like having to make all those changes all day long. I don't like that. Everything that goes in comes right out because of living with the permanent colostomy bag. And so, but I had peaches and cottage cheese for lunch, and I had a heaping helping of it too, and I absolutely love that. Yes, to give you an idea, Sandra, I hosted a Zoom call on Friday at 6 o'clock CST, appeared on a live at 7:45 p.m. as a guest, and did my own live at 10:45 p.m. It was all enjoyable, and I took yesterday off. That's what I'm talking about. That's good. That is so good. And I won't be on that much, at least not for now. But I know going forward, I will have more time on YouTube as well, and it will be manageable because I won't have all the other things that were weighing me down on the plate. So that's going to be great. And I'm glad that you are able to do these things, Rob, because as I've told you a million times, I absolutely love and enjoy what you do on your channel. And that's why I'm always over there. And I love the conversations, especially when you're doing the co-host. I love those conversations and I have a good time. And I always leave with something to think about and sometimes even things that I can incorporate into my life to make my life better. And so I absolutely love that. Excuse me. Jackie says, as long as it's not the main character in the play. Oh, I don't know where. Did I miss something? Sandra, did you feel the earthquake this morning around 4 a.m.? No, no, I didn't. I didn't feel it. Was it a big one? Because I was sleeping hard. I had woke up about 2 in the morning and I went back to sleep around 3. And I didn't wake up again until 6. So no, I missed it. And I'm glad I missed it too. I think I have a few cherries. I think Candy K has a few cherries. Okay. Wow. That was wow, that's a packed schedule. Good thing to get all them have it and have a day off. Yes. That's with Rod and his multiple activities on YouTube that Sandra absolutely loves. When I retire, I do not plan to be busy all day. Who will? Just the busyness that enhances our life and that we love. But I no matter what I was going through and how much was on my plate, I always got my self-care. Every Sunday I have my self-care, and sometimes during the week, and sometimes I'll just put some stuff down and be like, I'm not doing it. I'm also learning that being busy does not equal being productive. Absolutely not. It all depends on what that is, because busyness could just be a bunch of stuff, where being productive is a whole horse of a different color. So yeah, it wasn't too big. It was around Fraser Park, which is it was in between my city and Sandra City. Yeah, I didn't know about it, and I have not looked at any news. I never watch the news. My news is YouTube. My dictionary is YouTube. My TV is YouTube. And everything that I want to know or want to learn, I could go to YouTube. My husband is a person who watches the news. I don't. And in NSMBC is, if I do want to watch something or listen to something, that's where I go. Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't catch the earthquake, and I'm pretty glad about that because they don't bother me. It's just that I don't like that feeling when it happens, because when I was a kid and we in the 70s and we had a really big earthquake, and I was standing over by this long chifferow thing, and it had glass windows, and it fell on me, but luckily nothing broke. But yeah, I'm just not interested in the earthquakes, so I'm glad I missed it. But I hope that everything was fine and nobody was hurt. Welcome in, Tuber Chat. How are you today? Word up, word up. Good to see you. Happy Sunday to you. We're talking about having too much on the plate, how that feels, how we manage it. Do we just carry it, or do we take the time to situate things in a way that we can have a healthy balance in our life and not just continue to carry the weight until it stresses us out and take us to an unhealthy place? So that's what we're talking about. And I'm sure Kevin, you got a lot going on with managing your channel and all the other things that's going on in your life. So Kendi K said, I start shutting my day and my work life down very early, 3:30, so that by 4:30 the work day is over. I try. I try. It all depends on what I have to do, but yeah, it could be a lot. It could be a lot. Kenny K doesn't watch the news either. I don't watch local news. It's too depressing. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. But I'm sure that it's interesting that my husband didn't mention the earthquake. Maybe it just wasn't even felt in this space at all. And I've made contact with a couple of my neighbors this morning and this afternoon, and no one has said anything. So perhaps no one even felt it over this way. Yeah, Candy K you got to shut it down. We are talking about stress. That was my comment too. At times, stress comes. Oh, Rhonda, welcome in. I didn't see you down here, down here at the bottom. I didn't scroll the chat. It's good to see you. Happy Sunday. How have you been? It has been a very, very long time. And I am doing well. I am over here on this channel trying to make sure that my community and my ostomates and all of those who visit are getting what they need, and that we're having a good time, and that we're sharing one to another. So I've been busy with that and productive, because like Kendi K said, you could be busy and not be productive. So I'm over here on my channel being productive, my friend. But it's also good to see you. Yes, it has been a long time. Yes, it has. And you guys, it's just really important. 4.2? Oh my goodness. Pretty small for us in California too. But yeah, 4.2 is that's not too small, you know. Thank you, Rhonda. So this plate, are we really managing it? Can we really manage it? Rod is managing his plate, so we know. But I want to know from you who will be on the replay, are you managing your plate? Is it too heavy? Have you even noticed? And what's going on? And if you haven't noticed, are you, since hearing what we're talking about right now, are you going to take a look at it? Because we do want to stay in good health, and we do want to be well, and we do want to live longer. The stress is something that could really be serious and detrimental if we are not taking care of ourselves. And this full plate can definitely take us to a wrong place. And so I really think that it's important. And I'm just jumping for joy that I have been able to realize what was going on in my life and what I needed to do. And along the way, some things like my crafting and my candle making and stuff like that, it may come back into play, but on a different level. I won't be, if it's not my store, I won't be in the store anymore. I always had wanted to have my own store, but just being in someone else's store, it's a lot to care for. And so I'm glad that I had that experience, because I am able to see what it takes to actually run a business and be in a store and managing products and restocking and doing all the things. So there have been times in my life that I could not and was not managing my plate. Okay. Time management and maturity really helped me a lot. Yes, time management, right? Yes. Yes, Rod. I know it could get out of hand. It could really get out of hand. And I'm so glad that, like you said, time management and maturity. And I believe you shared some of the things about when you were young and some of the things that was happening during that time where you weren't managing your life in a way that was fruitful for you. So yes, time management. Time management is a really big thing. We get all the same 24 hours. no matter what state we're in, no matter where we are in the country. I believe even in across the waters, we all still get 24 hours. And what we do in those 24 hours matter. And it is very essential to manage your time. We can't just, well, we can squander it, and then we'll be like, oh, I wish I could have, would have, should have. Oh, I went all, wait a minute. Oh, I went about it all wrong when I was younger. And I think we all did. I spent, as everybody know, I squandered about 20, 22, 24 years of my life. But in that squandering, I did learn something. So I'm going to pull out of that squander all the things that I did pick up and all of the things that I learned that I am incorporating into my life now, which is making my life even better. And even just again with this plate, that's part of it too. Having the sense to know that I needed to do something about it, opposed to continually carrying it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We do. Sometimes we don't know what to do when we're young. And some of that is part of the growth and maturity process. But when these things are happening when we're young, the best thing is getting something out of it, learning something that you can use as you go forward in your life. And so welcome in Jerry Dree. Welcome in Jerry G. Good to see you. Happy Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and upcoming Monday to you. Always good to see you. How are you? So what about stewardship? Stewardship, not just with our plates, but maybe sometimes we may even have a plate that belongs to someone else. Maybe we're caring for someone. Maybe we're taking care and helping someone else that is not able to carry their plate on their own anymore. I haven't seen anyone on here. Wait, hold on. Let me read that again. Sandra, I haven't seen everyone on here on YouTube, but I've watched you and Kendi K in action, and I admire both of y'all. Oh, how sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. Um, Everybody on here whose channel I've never been to Jerry G, but I've basically been with everyone else. And I just really think that we're all some genuine, wonderful people. And that's why I spend a lot of time, but the time I spend on channels are the time that is mine to do it, and I enjoy it, and I incorporate it into my relaxation time. That's why I love the replays so much, because I could do these things on my own time instead of trying to manage my life and being on YouTube or watching someone on YouTube at the same time. Good afternoon, JC. Welcome in. How are you? Yes, you're listening and eating your late brunch. Okay, good to see you, and welcome in, and thank you for coming. Yes. So once I have to wait till it processes though before I can edit it, correct? Bottom line, we do have a lot of things on our plate, especially as Americans. I am one of them. Yes, ma'am. Let me see if I could turn this light back on. Okay, there we go. And then there was light. I am so glad. I am so glad that I didn't just let it go and I tried to reconnect. But again, so it's all about managing the plate, guys, and making sure that we are functioning in a way that is healthy for us. Some of us are on weight loss journeys. Some of us are dealing with other chronic illnesses and diabetes and things like that. And we want to manage our health and to stay on this earth to finish out whatever the purpose is for our lives before we go to the next level. And part of that is managing the stress, managing the plate, not overdoing it, taking off the things that are weighing us down, even, just not doing all types of unnecessary things that is weighty and a hindrance to our health. We don't want that. Doing so much, right, Kendi K, is working, doing so much, YouTube, and then dealing with health issues after the auto accident and keeping an eye on her family, her mom. Yes, that's what I was saying before we were so rudely interrupted by the power outage. Is anyone taking care of someone else? Because when you're taking care of someone else, that's another plate that you carry, right? And I do believe that having so much stress on the body does affect weight loss. Absolutely. And so I need to not be so stressed. Right. Right. And headaches, having headaches. After that week of headaches, I really am paying attention to my body, and I'm paying attention to what I need to be doing opposed to what I think I have to be doing all the time. I'm totally managing, getting better at managing my life and keeping a balance and making sure that I'm making the right decisions in order to have a healthy, balanced life. Because we need that. And because if we don't have that, then we're no good for ourselves and we're no good for others. Pam says that I find that I lean toward doing fun things that I enjoy. Time at the beach, exploring new places. Yes, yes, yes. That's what we should be doing, and enjoying our time and not being overweighted by things. It's so easy. Thank you, Kendi K. You have really taken some huge pieces off your plate called life. Yes, yes. And I love, how I feel about my candles and the things that I make. I just finally finished putting the pillow together some months ago. I showed you some panels that I had where I was making a pillow, and I had said I wanted to make a few pillows or more pillows so that I would have something for the holiday time to give to the hospital for those who are going through chemotherapy treatment. Well, so many things was on the plate that I didn't get a chance to finish putting those panels together. But last night I finished it. Here it is. I finally finished this pillow that I had been working on, if you can see it, for a long time. And I finally finished it. I would have finished it had I not had so many things on my plate. So these are the crafting is something that I really love to do. And I want to be able to do it in a pleasurable way and not have to lay it down because I'm overweighted by other things, because that's something that I really want to keep in my life. Jerry G said, I can't believe I reached 1,400 subs. Go, Jerry G. Go, Jerry G. You haven't seen nothing yet. You're going to get and exceed even that as you continue to be running your channel and sharing and doing the things that you do on your channel. Thank you. So, the crafting is something that I really love to do, and I really want to keep it in my life, and I will have it in my life, but I can't do all of those things with all the other stuff, so I had to bump it down. And so I'm glad I did. And now I can do some of the more things that I really love to do, but within reason and with the balance going forward. Some things, and then some things are just timing. Maybe you just need to do this for this season. Do this for this season. Do that for this season. And self-care always at the top of the list under God and family, right? So once we figure out what we're supposed to, how we can organize, I should say, how we can organize our life and how we can organize the responsibilities and the things that we have going on in our lives, the more we can be functional, fruitful, bearing fruit in our lives and in the lives of others. Oh, thank you, Pam. Thank you. Yeah, I have a ton of yarn over here on the other side of this room. I have a shelf and it's just full of yarn from when I was going through treatment. I crocheted a lot and I made a lot of blankets. I have a lot of unfinished blankets too, but I made a lot of blankets. And I even had those in a different store because I used to be in two stores, as a matter of fact, one in one city and one in another city. So, and maybe some time down the line, as I retire or something like that, I'll even have my own store at some point. But for now, I can't do everything. So I have to do the things that are most important, that are priority, and the things that I love that's a part of my self-care. It's so nice to get blankets and pillows when you are going through cancer treatment. Yes. And while I was going through my chemotherapy, I was sitting there crocheting and making things while I was sitting in the chair, getting those burning infusions that was burning me up. But yes, that's something that I really absolutely love to do. And so I will pick it back up when the time is right because I have something that's coming up that is absolutely on the plate now that those things are off the plate. And it's going to benefit a lot of people as well as myself. So yes, it is and it has been such a pleasure. Crochet all day. I would love to sometimes, but that's not possible. And I lost my thought, but it has been a joy to be with you guys today, and I am so thankful. Thank you all for being here. And it's too bad that some people had gotten off because of the power outage. Welcome in, Grant. Happy Sunday. Good to see you. Grant, if you can look at the top of the very, very top of the chat, I believe I have a pinned comment there, if it's still there. And yes, Kenny K, less is more. Uh, so we were talking about, Grant, we were talking about having a full plate. And I shared about all the things that were on my plate, what I have taken off, and what my plate looks like now. And I was asking everybody in the chat what their plates look like and what their lives look like. Do you, and so I'm going to ask you, do you have a full plate? What's on your plate that's weighing you down? What can you take off? What have you tried to take off, or what have you worked on so far? Yes, yes, I think so. I really wanted to talk about it because that a week or so ago, I was like, I got to get some things off my plate. And I absolutely just went ahead and did it. And it went smooth, especially the thing over with the my relationship at the store and the young lady that, well, not young lady, the woman that I was working with, that I was partnered with. She was so gracious and she was saying, Sandra, I understand. I've been with you for years and I know what your life is like. And you don't even have to wait until November. You can cut it off now and I will give you your money that we have in the bank. I'll give you your half. And you could just go ahead and do what you have to do. She was very gracious to me. And so I had to get it off my plate. It was just too much. Grant says plate is full each day, but not overwhelming. So you're managing your plate. That's good. Thank you. Thank you, Pam. Yes, yes. So you're managing your plate. Congratulations. I was not managing my plate. Well, I was managing it, but it was overwhelming and it was very heavy. And I'm so glad that it has lifted off. I saw Kenny K says, so that lets you know that it was ordained by the Lord. It ended so peacefully. Yes, yes, it did. It ended so peacefully. And I just clicked on for the for the Shopify and just closed it down. And another thing about running the Shopify store, and I kind of get it too, because I would much rather be in a place where I can see, touch, and smell the products opposed to ordering online. And so I wasn't getting a lot of orders, but I was paying for Shopify every month. And I just started to feel like I'm wasting money because I'm not selling anything over there. And so it was easy for me to just click delete or, discontinue that store, online store that I had. Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm spending money for something that is not happening. And even if it was, packaging up and making products and sending this here and sending it over there and sending it would have been a lot. It would have been a lot. And I was already doing that locally. And sometimes I still do. I have people that call or email me and say, Sandra, can I get 4 more of those candles that I had from before? So I'm still doing that, but it's a lot less than what it would have been if that Shopify store would have been really rolling. So, sometimes things can be a blessing when it's not being fruitful. It could be a blessing as well. And I really am at peace with the decisions that I've made, and I'm really excited about what's coming on the plate next. But I'm not going to allow my plate to get overwhelming again like that. But yes, that was a experience. That was an experience for me. And again, I think I'm going to go ahead and land the plane and get on to, I have some content that I need to upload for tomorrow and some things that I would like to do in my personal life this evening. So with that, I am going to bid you all farewell. And thank you again for being here. Thank you for being such a great support. And thank you for sticking and staying during the outage. And Candy K, thank you so much. And Pam, thank you so much for giving me some insight on what I can do once the stream has ended. Get out of her way. Sandra is landing this plane. Yes, yes, I am. And again, you guys are great. I'll see you next Sunday. I'll see you tomorrow on a long form and maybe even on later on in the week. I'll be able to come on because I really want to talk about this experience that I had with the outage while in the middle of a live. That was interesting. I will see you all in the next video.